world, isn't it? My name is Choma Ezenwafo, and yes, he's Talk It Figures at 92.3 Nigeria Info FM, and I'm really excited to be here today as we look at the complexities in the world of business. I mean, when you think about what's going on now, I mean, today is the 5th of June, 2024. It means that the month is already driving. We're already getting into, the second week of the new month. So these things are really moving hard. How are you? How are you doing? How is the money in your pocket? How is business? How are you pushing? Like we always ask. Well, I'm genuinely asking because of what I'm about to start talking about right now. Looking at the food prices, I've been wondering, asking this in my head, and I am excited that I get to ask the question here on the show and then perhaps also get answers. I mean, what is the one word for the current rising food prices? Did I hear you say ridiculous? Yeah, you could be right, because there's no getting used to this one. I mean, tomatoes in the custard bucket were 6,000 naira last week, and as at today, we're talking 9,000 naira. And the person even said, come and take 8,000. I don't know. It doesn't get more ridiculous than this, does it? And the clock is already ticking into the second year of this administration. How is the government responding to these prices? How are we getting out of this? It's one question that's been the mind of not just me, but a lot of people that we've had to talk to on this. But first, I would like to know how you've been responding to it, because it's been going up and up and up. I mean, you are at the market every other day trying to put food on the table of your family, on the table for your family. How has this been? Because everything seems more expensive every day. It's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. You might be wondering, why are food prices going up so much? Share your thoughts with me. Share your story if you have one. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. Yes, I would like you to tell me how it's been trying to get around the food prices. And don't forget to drop your message, your thoughts, yes, on X as well. If you're on WhatsApp, yes, you can shoot me that text on 0809 030 6416. That's 0809 030 6416. I would love to read your messages live in a bit. What are food prices? Why are food prices going up so much? And how can rising food prices be curbed? That's a question that I'll be trying to answer. Not me. I'm going to bring people to answer it for us today. Yes, on the show today, we're digging into these questions and we're talking to the people at the FCCPC, and that's the commission that's supposed to make sure things are fair in the food system. And are some people cheating? Is there something we can do about it? I would love to hear from you if you're struggling with these rising prices like I am. What is it what has it meant for your family? I would like to also know. So join me as I search for answers and solutions, because putting food on the table shouldn't be a struggle. And I have joining me on the show today Zonal Coordinator Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Sir Chukwuma Uchegbu. He's joined me on telephone, and thank you so much, Mr. Uchegbu, for joining me.
Shoma and our listeners.
Yes, thank you for joining me, Sir Uchegbu. But as our tradition on the show is, on Talking Figures, once we introduce our show, we would like to always look through the big stories in the world of business. Just look at the stories that's coming in the world of business, and maybe you give me your thoughts on it. We'll call it Market Watch. So can we go for a quick Market Watch, and then we get back to the big topic of the day? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we'll start with this one, talking about the crude oil. We actually have our refineries working in Nigeria. We've had a lot of back and forth, and I don't know, I'm not the only one apparently wondering why we still do not have the refineries working as they've promised us. And now the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has said that it would mandate international oil companies to supply crude oil to Dangote Oil Refinery. You know that the Dangote Oil Refinery actually expressed skepticism that the international oil companies would be willing to sell crude oil to them. And now the federal government plans to ensure this happens, that international oil companies supply crude oil so that we can It's like a way of intervening so that we can actually be able to see our refineries kickstart. What comes to your mind when you hear a story like this, Mr. Uchegbu?
Well, when we talk about the issues of the causes of the food increase or the prices of the food, one of the greatest things is the cost of transportation. And what drives cost of transportation is the cost of fuel or diesel. So if the cost of diesel comes down, surely the cost of food in the market will come down. Most of the food we consume in the cities are not produced in the cities. They are produced right in the hinterland. So it is with transportation that these things are brought to the cities. So if the cost of transportation goes down, surely the cost of food will come down. Now, part of what we did was the market survey. In the area of market survey, we found out that the cost
we'll talk about the market survey. I don't want us to let the cat out of the bag kind of thing.
It's all right.
So let's just stay with this story and the crude oil and the supply that plans to happen, especially because people are wondering if we have the federal government intervening in this manner. Isn't it going to also have a ripple effect? Like let's say backlash of some sort? Because the international companies are going to always be there, even while we have our refineries working, they will also always be there doing business with us. How exactly does the federal government plan to help this to get these people to sell to the local refineries that we have here, and how is that going to really work out? Because it's like I don't know. Anyways,
yes, this is a matter of policy. In such space, the federal government reserves the right to also direct the international oil companies in Nigeria, those that are refining, getting the crude, to determine to a large extent, yes, even though they've been licensed to get the crude, but some of these things are policy issues. So if these policies and decisions are taken at that level, at least they will supply a particular percentage for local consumption. So but it will be unheard of. Let me say, people are saying, how could we be producing a crude and then a refinery in Nigeria is now buying crude from another nation? It's
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So it's something that is unthinkable. I think it's unthinkable. So the plan now for the crude to be sold to Dangote is awesome. It's awesome. As we're also going to discuss further, we find out that some of the things that are causing the hike in food price is as a result of certain policies.
Yes. Anyways, we're going to keep an eye on that one. It's obviously a developing situation because, the refineries are not up yet. And so let's see if this helps that promise to actually come to fruition. It has the potential to benefit businesses like what you're trying to say, and especially ones that rely on fuel, and then those in the oil and gas sector. We'll keep a close one on that. Now, this next story is about Nigeria looking to reduce the importation of petrol. So it's really connected to the first story, which is what the federal government said on yesterday, that $4.4 billion is about what will be adopting the use of, by adopting the use of CNG, we're going to be saving about $4.4 billion. And that's a very attractive figure to look at a time that we are all in this, right? What do you think?
Yes. Well, I want to say that as far as you are importing petroleum products, especially fuel and diesel, you are paying for the labor of production. in foreign countries. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
if you are paying for the labor of foreign countries, it also means that you are reducing the capacity of your nation to produce something. So this CNG is produced right here in Nigeria. So if our cars and most other machinery use our CNG, it will reduce the quantity of fuel and diesel that we have to import. In that way, we will conserve the foreign currency, our foreign earnings, what we earn, and that will make us to be a stronger economy.
Okay, Sir Uchegbu, is it possible you shift your position? Perhaps are you using a headset or something so that we could get a better audio? Okay. I mean, use of CNG is one thing that the federal.
Remove it now.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, it is. It is better. So I think the target. Yes, the target is to replace 20% of Nigeria's daily petrol use with CNG. How soon can that happen? There's no timeline yet of some sort, but obviously it's going to take time.
I didn't get that. Can you repeat?
Yes, no, we're still talking about the replacing of petrol with CNG, and what it's going to mean for us as Nigerians. And the target for federal government is to replace 20% of Nigerians' daily petrol use with CNG. It's going to save us money, billions. That's a lot of money. And they are also looking to convert 1 million vehicles from petrol or diesel to CNG. That's like a long-term thing. And I hope the plan works. I really hope it works. It's a big change for Nigerian transportation sector, and it's going to have a ripple effect. Apart from the part that you mentioned earlier, which is helping the inflation drop. We also see that it has a good environment implication, air quality as well. Yes. So let's see how that comes in, and that brings me to the third story, and which is the final story in this segment. Looking at the Heritage Bank situation, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation saying that the payment of those that had their money in that bank would start by the end of this week, and that's come like good news for a lot of such depositors, especially those who had because the initial story, they said it was 5 million naira. People that had they were going to pay up to 5 million naira, and so people that had up to 5 million naira were going to start getting their money, and it left us wondering what will happen to those whose money were more than that. And we got a clarification later that those whose monies are more than that would first of all get the 5 million, and then as liquidation goes on, they get their payments later. What do you think about this?
Well, that's what happens in the economy. Why the reason for NDIC is for the protection of the consumer, of the consumers of banking sector, right?
Yes.
Those that are putting their money in banks and things like that, not the shareholder. So the people that usually lose in such situation are the shareholders. But if you have deposited your money in the bank, NDIC is the depositor's insurance. They ensure those banks that your money is safe. So when the bank has a problem, it is the responsibility of NDIC to ensure that depositors get their money. But then we know that the process is not always easy. But we are also there on FCCPC to protect the consumer, because these are consumers. These are consumers of the banking sector, right? So if there are people that have issues with that, or if there are things that they feel that they didn't get, they are also free to complain.
All right, and that's it on Market Watch. It's time for Insider Tips, where we look at the topic of the day, talking about food prices. Why are food prices going up so much, and how can rising food prices be curbed? That's the conversation we're starting about now. And Sir Uchegbu, thank you for doing Market Watch with me and giving me your thoughts there. One wouldn't have known that you would have such depth to have the conversations that we just had, and I really enjoyed you sharing your insights there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now let's look at Insider Tips. I would love to. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. Drop your comments there, drop your thoughts there, and join me as I search for answers and solutions. What are the factors affecting food prices in Nigeria? What is causing food inflation in Nigeria? Why are prices so high?
So I call there is Wabu Nigeria, my European Utemaro Dumelo, Pia Bikikure, cervical cancer, Dumelo Berewin, Pia Newa, Dumelo Ama Aba Nubakure, human papilloma virus, HPV. But that big Dumelo Amatemalo, my Gampie, Bakure.
Had to go on that quick break really fast. I still have with me the Zonal Coordinator Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Sir Chukwuma Uchegbu. You're still there?
Yes, I'm still in.
Yes, thank you for hanging in. And so let's talk. We're talking food prices and the questions, they are really begging for answers. Yes. And the phone lines will be opened at some point if you're wondering. So, Mr. Uchegbu, let's start with what it is that you think of the current cost of food items in River State. Let's talk about it in River State terms.
Yes, actually, what is happening is not River State isolated.
Yes, but let's talk about it with where we are.
Yes, yes, there in River State recently, in fact, last week, we went on what we call market survey in some major markets in River State. We went to Oyeme Market, went to my 1 Bishop Okene area of River State. You know, part of what Consultation is doing, we've been engaging in fact-finding interaction with traders associations and marketers to ascertain factors responsible for the continuous hike in food prices. So this fact-finding inquiry is an investigative mission to gather information directly from, the source and then stakeholders in the major market, particularly the executives of the market union, the sellers of goods, and then the buyers, the consumers themselves, right there in the marketplace. Why we are doing this is so that because part of FCCP's responsibility as enshrined by the law in what we call FCCPA, which is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018, Section 17A, mandates the Commission to, from time to time, advise the federal government on economic policy. And we don't just arrive at economic policy or your advice. So what we are trying to do is to do a market survey so we can arrive on what to inform or what will inform our advice to the federal government. And truly, we have, like in River State, we have concluded the mission. In the entire South, we have concluded the mission. We have sent our findings to our head office, and I'm sure that by the grace of God, they will also collect all the results nationally and then advise the federal government.
What did you find when you did your surveillance? What did you find? Did you just break it down? I know we hear some of it in the news, but just bring us up to speed what you found when you went around these markets.
Okay, one of the things we found out is what you have also mentioned earlier: the cost of transportation.
Okay.
That the cost of transporting food from, say, Benue or all these areas to Port Harcourt here, a truck used to be about 900,000. But now it talks about 2.5 million for the same goods. So one is cost of transportation. The second one is the toll gates that they pay, illegality, the illegal collections that are taken away from them. Now, they told me from the market that from Benue to Port Harcourt, you spend on, there is a people they call produce store collectors. You spend about 250 to 300,000 to get to Port Harcourt. And then to police and other security agencies, they will also spend at least between 150 to 200,000. So if you add these up, you are talking about 600,000 or more that will now be added to the cost of that food. Then apart from that, we also told that there are people in the food chain that when they realize that this food is coming out, they will go and buy them in bulk. And then store them, start releasing them at their own time on their own pace, by hoarding the food, causing inflation, fixing the price, and gouging the price. So these are some of the things. Then finally, also right in the market, we also find out that there are two collectors. If you bring anything into the market, you don't just come in and sell it.
Yeah.
Associations have their union. Each trade area have their own union. Egg sellers, vegetable sellers, tomato sellers, they all have unions. You can't bring your own tomato and come and sell. No. You either sell it to them or you register. So they will not determine the price. These are some of the factors and these are anti-competitive factors that we have seen in the market. We also have seen touts in the market that will collect money every day from traders. We don't know who they're collecting these monies from. So there are people that come into the market, they don't have a shop. But every day they go with hundreds of thousands of naira. And you ask yourself, why? So by the time we're able to deal with these external factors, I'm sure that food prices will definitely come down. There's nobody that will buy anything cheap that wouldn't want to just do a little markup and sell. That's the truth.
Okay, now that's these are real issues that you've highlighted here, and I'm wondering, how do you plan to address these issues and reduce the burden on food vendors?
Yes, the issue of multiple taxation. States must come together to agree. And like when we visited Cross River State, after our visit to the states and listening to the directly to the people, to those that are involved, our final meeting was with the what do you call it now? To the governor, the personal assistant to the governor. So we told him the need to set up a committee that will drive out all these two collectors on the road. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So if states can take a decisive, listen, let me tell you, these people that collect this money don't remit them to nobody, neither to the local government nor to the state. These are touts. And what do they use this money for? Illegality. So we are writing to each of these governments to set up task forces or structures that will break down these anti-competitive factors. Then for us on our own, in the marketplaces, we have told the market associations that if they engage in any form of price fixing or any anti-competitive practices, that will take them to court.
Okay.
By the time you take people to court, they will realize that these things are against the law directly. There are laws, and they are enshrined in FCCPA that it's a huge fine. It's a fine of up to, if you engage in price fixing in Nigeria, the fine is up to 100 million.
Okay.
Transportation.
But how do you plan to do this? Because you're not inside the market. If you're going, you announce you're going, and then you get, how do you plan to ensure that you get to the people that are really doing the price fixing?
Now, the issue is that we have different mechanisms. Like before we did the open market survey, we have also done the a subtle kind of market survey to look at things even before we went open, to now ask them openly.
Okay.
Apart from that, we have also given them, questionnaires, just very simple questionnaires. You may not know, what the question is geared towards. Our law gives us the power to also get at your records. We will need to give us either your sales records or even records of meetings. If there are things like that, we can also take this in from the court to take your phones and search them if there are communications. So these things have been done in certain sectors of the economy, and it was hugely successful. We intervened in the shipping companies, we intervened in the generator importing companies in Nigeria.
Okay.
So we have intervened in certain areas. The issue is that people don't know some of the things we've already done. And these things are very, very successful. So if we intervene in any sector and we find out solutions or price fixing or agreement to restrict people, the fine is heavy, and you must do. That's what it is.
Well,
so the way to go about it is something that is systematic and is scientific.
Okay. Is it about to start, or it's already started, or are we going to wait for that report you've sent?
We started. Yes, we started. That's what I'm telling you. That we intervened in the shipping industry.
Okay.
We intervened in the shipping industry. We intervened in generator importers.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So we intervened in different sectors where we see that there are collusions or there are agreements to fix price.
How about I know that FCCPC's focus is actually fair competition. So what other strategies besides this price control of some sort that the Commission is considering?
I don't call it price control per se, but what we do is strategically intervening to ensure that the market is
market forces are allowed to drive.
Yes. So the policy remains to unlock the market and address key consumer protection and competition issues affecting the prices. You understand?
Yes.
Commodities of goods and services. So FCCPC surveillance efforts for participants in the food chain and distribution sector, including wholesalers and retailers, are allegedly engaged in something called a conspiracy. So the plan is to find out those people that are involved in this conspiracy and then do the video after them.
Now, I mean, this is actually a matter of urgency, obviously. If we ask for a time frame, can you give a time frame how soon can we see results, of these strategies and this, what you've actually set out to do? How soon can we begin to see that the food prices maybe drop or at least do not go up further?
Well, the truth is that I want to assure you that very soon. Let me also let you know that, like I told you, that we are engaging the state government, especially through the governors and their representatives, to put in place some of these measures. As soon as these measures are put in place, those that bring in the food will realize that these things are no more against them, and then the prices will start coming down. But I want to assure you also that the federal government by themselves, like you are saying, are doing it. They are doing everything. If we can have buses that will be CNG compliant and run on gas, the price of movement of food will reduce.
Okay.
Right? And refined, the price of diesel will definitely come down. So of these cumulatively will bring down the price of goods?
Okay, it's time to open the phone lines. In case you're wondering why you're not, hearing the usual sounds you should be hearing, because it's Nigeria Info. I beg your indulgence. We're kind of trying to sort out a few things here, but the show must go on. They say, the show on and on, and it is. All right, so don't be in old time. You share your with me. Like I said, I'd like to know what it is that you've been struggling with when it comes to prices. Which one has shocked you the most? I told you to shows. I bought 6,000 last week and now 9,000. I was asking tips. I said, Meadow, looks like Banga is in food. I like to know what your thoughts are on this. Food prices, fighting prices, food prices, whatever you want to call it this afternoon. Why and how? We had the Zonal Coordinator of FCCPC in River State, Mr. Chukwuma Uchegbu, explain to us what's going on, what else to respond in time for you to tell me what and how you into it. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Auntie.
Yes, you're welcome to Talking Figures.
Okay.
How are you dealing with prices at this time?
Madam, in fact, it is very, very surprising. My name is Ezekiel, I'm calling from Ubumi.
Okay.
I am still surprising to see that in my community, yesterday was my community market, and a basin of garri was sold at the price of 18,000 naira. First time in the history of this community. And I see it as a sad thing because of the economic situation of the nation. Let the federal government please release one commodity that is very, very essential in the living of our citizenry. Let that refinery be fixed up so that the means of transportation will help to curb the prices of commodities in our nation. Thank you very much. Ezekiel Ojon, calling from Ubumi.
Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts there. And of course, if you have questions for the coordinator, the zonal coordinator of FCCPC, you've heard him talk about their efforts to help drop food prices. He's explained that they've done the market survey, they understand what the issues are, and they are looking to address them in coming days. If you have questions for Mr. Chukwuma Uchegbu, he's still on the line, and it would be great for you to call up. And hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chioma.
I'm listening.
I am Good Luck, calling from Andoni.
Okay.
Though you asked the question I wanted to ask your guest, but I still want to ask you. You're saying very soon, very soon. Andoni, we are close to Ogoni, who produces Gari. And there's this other brand of Gari we call the Enugu Gari, and the other one they call the Bendel. But as for the Ogoni Gari, which supersedes the others in terms of consumption, we are buying it now at a cup for 500 naira. So how are they going to help in this situation? From Ogoni to Andoni is not that far, so we should be talking about transportation. But I discovered that the farmers or the traders, the Ogoni people who supplies all this gari, formed a union. And after they succeeded in doing that, they now have to be like doing a kind of shift. This community and this community will sell for this market day, the other market day, the other, such that the gari now looks as if it is scarce in order for them to keep on rising the price. And the price keeps on going on daily basis. Like day before it was sold at 15,500 for that smaller basis, very small. Today, the information I got is being sold for 17,000 now. Like every day, the price keeps on changing. Like you can't just tell what the price of gari you're going to buy for today will be. So how are they going to come to this situation and stop this? Should I say is a nonsense because we can't just sum everything to the price of fuel and the rest when things are not supposed to be at this so high like this. I mean, so when are they going? Will they be able to come down to this area which I'm mentioning, Angoni and Ogoni? Will they be able to? Is it only my one and my three oil mill and the rest market? What about we here? Are we not part of Nigeria?
Okay.
So when are they going to do that? Because we need it to be done as quick as possible. People are dying here of hunger. You see, I'm always afraid when it comes to Sunday, like weekend. I tell you, before the runs out, I spend not less than say 12,000 naira. So whenever it comes to weekend, I'm always afraid, like I don't know what to do. I don't talk of other days, but as for Sundays, especially Saturday, Sunday, child, I do cry. Not just me alone. What about other person? We are just struggling to put food on our table. People can't take 3 square meals a day anymore. It's not possible.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts there and being really open about it. Yes, in case you do not have the numbers, you can call 0817-923-0002. You can also call 0817-923-0003. That's the studio line, and you can share with me how you've been responding to the rising food prices. I have in the studio, he's joined via telephone, by the way, the Zonal Coordinator of FCCPC, the commission that is supposed to ensure or help us ensure that the food system and what we're selling there is fair. There's fair competition, and he's explained to us that there's been a market survey and they understand what exactly is going on. What are on to curb it, and that's how government is responding. How are you responding? Sorry, you have to call Kakai. Good afternoon. Yeah, come to talk figures. How are you responding to time? Your fair.
We are surviving for those who can be able to provide. Yesterday, I went to Delta Park and bought a bento of Gary, 4,200 kilo Gary. So it's surprising and shocking. But my own concern is regarding the place on demand from Andoni Act. There are so many factors that need to be looked into in Nigeria. So many factors need to be considered. One, most importantly, before the farmer, their life, their security matters. My concern now is how can a farmer go to the farm, spend all his daily time on putting things in place? At the end of the day, Fulani people, the cattle rearers, they take their cow to destroy the farm. The luxury they have, when they bring it to the market, if they sell, will be able to provide for their own needs. Because someone, while I was sitting at Guneba, the woman, sometimes I went there to buy fish from her. She told, and I asked her where she wants to buy the fish. She said from Andoni. I said, okay, that's a place. So and I asked her, why is the fish so expensive like this? She told me that she have also asked the same question to the people who are selling to her. And their response was, if they sell their own cheaper, where will they get the money to lift up the price of other people's commodities? Now, here in Nigeria, not everyone is opportune to have access to fertilizer that the rest to their farm. Security is another problem. This petrol pump price now is another issue on ground. Nigeria is less in every aspect. Truth be told, man, Nigeria is regarded her years when it comes to resources. People might get, but the government is our major problem. If Nigeria now should look into how they can stop the exportation of crude oil and upgrade our refineries to standards, things will move better for us.
All right, Victor. Thank you. Yeah, thank you because of time. Thank you so much for your contribution. And now we go to Facebook and messages on Facebook. I have one here from Nene Joyce Wukoma. I said, I don't know what the government is doing concerning this price increase in the market, stores and shops, even cost of transportation within our vicinities. Government should rise up to this by setting up task force and monitoring teams to curb this inhumane to man. She says traders, where was I? Quite a long one. Traders are there adding prices of goods every Monday, and transporters are doing theirs. Imagine the bus drivers flying Romokoro to remotely collecting 400 naira from passengers yesterday evening because of the gas tanker situation along the Briquere. If rain falls, they collect, saying God have mercy. Excuse me. I have one here from Lawrence Friday. He says, good afternoon, Choma Izema, and your guest. How can rising food prices be curbed? My opinion on this rising food, rising food prices is mainly because of the high cost of transportation, which can be related to high price of fuel. It's quite long. I'm sorry, I cannot read long ones. I can only read the short ones, okay, because of time. I have one here from Honorable Saturday D. Ngoji. Said, I least suspect anything from the government because a system that is not capable of controlling the commodity within its powers will never have the capacity to control what is not primarily under her. That's much I can take for messages on Facebook. But you're still there now, Sauchi. Who are you?
Yes, please.
Yes, you had all the calls and then some of the messages that I've read already. And
Yes.
Before you respond, okay, just go ahead and respond to that. You care to respond to any of the calls that have come in?
I listened to Good Luck from Anthony and then Patrick from Rumodaya and Victor from Alo. I think the comments are all the same, and there's one factor that everybody is looking at, the factor of transportation, the high cost of transportation. If you look at it, but then the guy from London is saying, and some of these products are made within their community. Why the high cost? There is like this Victor from Alo now answered the question almost that those that are producing those things will also need to go to market to buy other things.
Yeah,
that's factor. That's the way what the demand and supply work.
Yeah,
you understand? If I have my product, I sell it so that I can also use it to exchange for the one that I need. And let me also say, just now I'm a farmer. I don't go into farm. I have some farms, but cassava. The cost of fertilizer now is also very high. So the input, agricultural inputs have also gone up a little bit. So you can't just tell the people that because you got this in your farm, not. Yes, I know that there are people that are intentionally increasing the price beyond what it's supposed to be. But if you also look at the factors of production, you see that most of them are high. So it's going to be a holistic thing. Then finally, the issue of herders taking their cows into people's farms is something that should not be heard of.
Welcome back to the show. This is Nigeria.
them against a shipping company called Ship to something since 3 years ago up to this moment. Nothing has happened. They've been tossing me like football. I've promised them I will publish my horrible experience with them. He says you're a scam. That's the FCCPC. What's going on? How do you respond to that? I'm going to allow you to respond to that before we leave.
Yeah, I would like to respond. That particular case is in my friend. I have that file. If this is a live show, I would have shown it. Now, this guy imported something. He imported something from abroad, paid for it, and then gave the people he imported it and addressed the people that will ship it down to Nigeria. They are called shipped to Nigeria. Now, they bought the goods. He didn't go. For 3 months, he didn't go to pick the item.
Okay.
And part of their policy is that you will pay for the due mooring.
Yes.
And then we now want to use FCCPC to force the people to release the goods to him free of charge. It's not done that way.
All right, our time is up. Thank you so much, Sir Uchegbu, for making time to be on the show. So many messages to read today. We're definitely coming back on this one. Food prices must come down. FCCPC, help us. That's my own cry for help there. Thank you for making time to be on the show, Sir Uchegbu.
Thank you.
All right, and that's it on Talking Figures today. And I hope we get to the bottom of this. I hope we got solutions and answers, and I hope things get better. Yes, and it will. We are in Nigeria, and we are resilient, and that resilience is going to keep working for us. Stay in there, keep hanging in there. You're going to always have food to eat, and that's my wish for you. My name is Chukwuma Uchegbu. Thank you for doing the show with me today, despite the tech issues. We are coming out on this side, a good one. All right. So next is the Rivers today. After that, Kalada will be here to take you on hard facts. Until then, keep having a lovely day.
With information comes power.
We give you more power with information. Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.